Welcome back. Today we're diving into the real China, beyond the headlines and stereotypes. Forget what you've heard from the news or your uncle at Thanksgiving. We're exploring the wild contrasts, ancient traditions clashing with futuristic tech, and the everyday surprises that make China unique. We'll cover everything from copycat culture and beauty standards to legal loopholes and mind-blowing tech. This isn't a travel vlog or political rant, it's about the human side, the funny, the strange, and the unexpected. Ready to see a side of China you've never imagined? Let's jump in. Buckle up, this is going to change how you see the world. Let's start with China's reputation for copying. Yes, it's real, and it's something that's fascinated the world for decades, but if you think it's just about cheap knockoffs or fake handbags, you're missing the bigger picture. The story of China's copycat culture is way more interesting, and honestly, more complex than you might expect. Walk through the bustling markets of Shenzhen, or the endless aisles of Yiwu, and you'll see everything from knockoff designer bags and shoes to electronics that look suspiciously like the latest iPhone, sometimes even before Apple's official launch. You'll find gadgets and tech accessories that haven't even hit the shelves in the West yet, all being sold at lightning speed. It's a place where trends are born, copied, and reinvented overnight. But China's copying isn't limited to products. It goes much, much bigger. Sometimes, it's entire cities and landmarks. Want to see Paris without leaving Asia? Head to Hangzhou, where you'll find a replica Eiffel Tower rising above a French-style neighborhood, complete with Parisian fountains and boulevards. Or maybe you're in the mood for London. Thames Town, just outside Shanghai, is a surreal recreation of an English village with red phone booths, Tudor-style houses, and even a Gothic church. These places are more than tourist attractions. They're backdrops for wedding photos, graduation shoots, and even music videos. Imagine posing for your big day in front of a fake Eiffel Tower thousands of miles from the real one. You can stroll down cobblestone streets that look like they were plucked straight out of the English countryside, all without ever leaving China. There's even a full-scale clone of the Austrian village of Hallstatt, complete with lakeside views and pastel-colored houses, built in Guangdong province for curious tourists and locals alike. But here's the twist. This culture of imitation has actually created a generation of expert reverse engineers and problem solvers. By taking things apart and figuring out how they work, Chinese engineers have become masters at learning fast and improving on what they see. They started by copying, but now they're innovating at a pace that's hard to match. Young entrepreneurs and tech startups are everywhere, pushing boundaries and coming up with ideas that are uniquely their own. China leapfrogged straight into a cashless society with apps like WeChat Pay and Alipay, making mobile payments the norm for everything from street food to luxury shopping. While much of the world was still swiping plastic cards, China was already scanning QR codes and paying with a tap of a phone. Today, facial recognition payment terminals, delivery robots weaving through city streets, and drones dropping off packages are becoming everyday sights in Chinese cities. The factories that once churned out knockoffs are now some of the most advanced in the world, filled with robotic assembly lines and cutting-edge technology. And when it comes to high-speed rail, China didn't just copy the idea, they took it further, building the world's largest and fastest network in record time, connecting cities, and transforming travel for millions. The line between copying and creating is blurrier than ever. What started as imitation has evolved into a culture of relentless improvement and bold innovation. It's a paradox. A country once famous for fakes is now setting the pace in real technology, shaping the future in ways few could have predicted. So, what really counts as innovation? Is it the first person to have an idea, or the one who brings it to life for a billion people and makes it part of daily life? Maybe true innovation is about scale, about making something accessible to everyone, everywhere, and changing how society works. Have you ever visited these wild markets or walked through a replica European city in China? If you have, share your stories in the comments. We want to hear what surprised you most, because it's one thing to hear about China's copycat culture, but it's a whole different experience to see it up close, to walk those streets and feel the energy for yourself. In the end, China's copycat culture isn't just about imitation, it's about ambition, scale, and the relentless drive to reinvent, adapt, and lead the world into the future. Now, let's talk beauty, where ancient tradition meets high-tech obsession. In China, beauty isn't just about looking good, It's a cultural phenomenon woven into daily routines, family expectations, and even the nation's history. From the moment you step into a Chinese beauty salon, you'll notice a unique blend of old-world rituals and cutting-edge technology, all working together to create a very specific ideal. In China, long, slender manga legs are a beauty ideal. These legs are celebrated in fashion magazines, social media, and even pop culture, where celebrities and influencers are praised for their elegant silhouettes. There are machines, stretches, and routines just for perfect legs. Some women invest hours each week in specialized gyms or clinics, using everything from compression devices to stretching frames, all in pursuit of that coveted look. This focus on daintiness echoes the painful history of foot binding, an old practice that still shapes modern ideals of delicacy and smallness. While foot binding is long gone, the desire for petite, graceful features lingers in the collective memory, influencing how beauty is defined today. Fair skin is another huge standard. Walk into any pharmacy or department store and you'll find entire aisles dedicated to whitening creams, serums, and masks, all promising a brighter, more luminous complexion. Historically, pale skin meant you were wealthy enough to avoid outdoor labor. It was a sign of privilege, a way to show you didn't have to toil under the sun, and that association still holds power today. Today, skin whitening products fill the shelves and women use umbrellas and even face skinis to avoid the sun. Sun protection is a daily ritual, with hats, gloves, and SPF-infused makeup all playing a part in maintaining that prized paleness. The Western love of a tan? In China, it's the opposite. Paleness is prized. While Westerners flock to the beach for bronzed skin, Chinese women go to great lengths to stay fair, seeing it as a mark of refinement and beauty. Relationships are pragmatic. Questions about salary and property come up early. Dating isn't just about chemistry, it's about stability, future prospects, and what each person brings to the table. Beauty is seen as an asset, and marriage is a family contract as much as a romance. Parents often play a big role in matchmaking, and a woman's appearance can influence her family's social standing. The pressure is real. Men are expected to own a car and apartment before marriage, and women's looks are often tied to social mobility. For many, beauty isn't just personal, it's a ticket to a better life. It's a blend of old and new. High-tech beauty gadgets meet herbal remedies passed down for generations. From jade rollers and herbal teas to LED masks and ultrasonic cleansers, Chinese women embrace both science and tradition in their routines. These standards reveal a lot about history, class, and the pressures of modern life. They show how the past and present are always in conversation, shaping what it means to be beautiful in today's China. Beauty here isn't just about looks, it's about navigating a complex social world. It's about fitting in, standing out, and finding your place in a rapidly changing society. The result? A fascinating, sometimes contradictory mix of tradition and modernity. Chinese beauty standards are always evolving, reflecting both global trends and deeply rooted cultural values. Understanding these ideals gives you a window into the heart of Chinese culture, a world where beauty is more than skin deep, and every ritual tells a story about identity, aspiration, and the ever-shifting balance between old and new. Let's flip the script. China isn't just about copying, it's the birthplace of world-changing inventions. The four great inventions: paper, gunpowder, the compass, and printing. Paper made knowledge portable and affordable, revolutionizing communication and government. Gunpowder, discovered by accident, started as fireworks and ended up changing warfare forever. The compass began as a tool for fortune-telling, then unlocked global navigation and trade. Printing, first woodblock, then movable type, made books accessible and knowledge widespread, centuries before Europe caught up. Porcelain, too, was a Chinese secret for centuries. So prized it's simply called China. These inventions aren't just history, they're the foundation of the modern world. Without them, we wouldn't have mass literacy, global exploration, or even the world map as we know it. China's legacy of innovation is deep and enduring. Today's tech boom is just the latest chapter in a long story of invention. Remember, China's drive to create isn't new, it's a return to its roots. The next time you use paper, a compass, or even fireworks, you're touching a piece of Chinese history. Innovation here is tradition. Here's something you'd never expect to find in a travel guide. Luxury car trunk markets, a phenomenon that's as surprising as it is fascinating. Imagine strolling down a city street at night and seeing rows of high-end cars. BMWs, Audis, even Porsches, lined up with their trunks wide open, transformed into makeshift shops. It's a scene that feels both glamorous and a little bit rebellious, and yet, it's all perfectly legal. In China, this trend has taken off in a big way. It's not just legal, it's become a symbol of urban cool. People sell everything from artisan coffee and cocktails to handmade jewelry and quirky crafts, all out of the back of their luxury vehicles. The cars themselves are part of the attraction, drawing curious crowds who want to see what's on offer and maybe snap a selfie with a tricked-out trunk. Young entrepreneurs, many of them in their 20s and 30s, are the driving force behind this movement. As night falls, they pop their trunks, string up colorful lights, and transform ordinary city streets into vibrant pop-up markets. The atmosphere is electric, part street fair, part social event, and part business opportunity. Locally, it's known as Ho Bei Xiang Ji Shi, literally, trunk market. It's a blend of hustle, style, and social media savvy. Vendors use eye-catching banners and creative displays to stand out, and many markets have their own hashtags and online followings. The trunk market boom really took off during the pandemic, when youth unemployment soared and people needed new ways to make a living. With traditional jobs hard to find, young people got creative, turning their cars into mobile shops and their side hustles into full-time gigs. The result? A new kind of street economy that's both resilient and resourceful. And it's not just about convenience. Using a luxury car as your storefront is a statement. It's a status symbol and a marketing tool rolled into one. The flashier the car, the more attention you get, and the more likely you are to attract customers who want to be part of the scene. What's even more surprising is the government's response. In the past, street vending was tightly regulated, and unlicensed sellers risked being shut down. But now, officials are actively encouraging trunk markets as a way to boost the local economy and support small businesses. It's a dramatic shift that shows just how quickly things can change. Vendors have also embraced technology, live streaming their locations and products to attract online followers and customers. It's not unusual to see someone selling coffee from their trunk while chatting with viewers on social media, blending the digital world with real-world hustle. This hybrid business model, where digital meets physical and hustle meets high-end, has become a blueprint for modern entrepreneurship in China. Digital payments, online marketing, and in-person sales all come together in one place. The trunk market trend is a testament to China's flexible, opportunistic approach to business. If something works, it's allowed to flourish, even if it breaks the mold of what's considered normal. It's a unique slice of modern capitalism, one you won't find anywhere else in the world. Where else can you buy a latte or a handmade bracelet from the trunk of a luxury car, all under the neon lights of a bustling city? So next time you're in China and spot a fancy car parked with its trunk open, don't be surprised if it's actually a pop-up cafe or boutique shop, ready to serve you something special. The trunk market is a perfect example of China's creative, ever-evolving street economy, where innovation, style, and entrepreneurship come together in the most unexpected places. That's a wrap. From replica cities to beauty secrets, ancient inventions to trunk markets, we've only scratched the surface of China's wild contrasts. Which part surprised you most? The fake Paris, the beauty routines, or the luxury car pop-up shops? Let us know in the comments. Your stories and perspectives make this community awesome, so don't be shy. If you've experienced any of this firsthand, drop a 1 in the comments. We want to hear from you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit subscribe for more eye-opening stories from around the world. See you in the next one.